going on, y'all? Jay here, Guardian Circle Elite, and today's video we're going to concentrate on how to load my gun. Alright, now this is going to be a beginner's tutorial or video, so for my advanced shooters or my more seasoned gun owners out there, this may not be for you. This is going to be the basics of the basic and for the beginner's beginner. Alright, however, if you would, please help me out and share this video with someone who may need it. Alright, so the first thing we want to do when loading our gun is we want to make sure that we are handling it or picking it up with our dominant hand. And your dominant hand is simply put going to be the hand that you use the most. Whatever hand you write with, what hand you throw a ball with, that's going to be your dominant hand. Alright, so when we pick that up, we want to make sure that we're picking it up with our finger off the trigger and make sure that it is pointed in a safe direction. Okay, now oftentimes you have people who pick up the gun with maybe the non-dominant hand or the dominant hand, and they want to switch the gun back and forth. Okay, we want to refrain from switching the gun back and forth. That just creates too much room for something bad to happen when you're alternating hands with your gun. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually pick up our magazine. Now, we shouldn't have to find the magazine. The magazine should be right there, either on your person or somewhere within arm's reach. Okay, so we're finding our magazine and we're going to pick that up. All right, now for instructional purposes, we are using dummy ammunition. There are no live rounds and no live ammo here. We'll be using dummy ammunition. All right, and before we actually insert the magazine into the magazine well, we want to make sure that we use our index finger and push that round back. In case it's protruding, it may not load correctly when you're loading it into the magazine well. Alright, the next thing we'll do, we're going to hold it maybe a 45-degree angle or so, and we're going to feel it into the magazine well. If you heard that click, that lets you know it's seated. Okay, however, when you're in the range and you're shooting, you may not hear that click. So just to make sure that it's seated properly, we want to make sure that we give it a tap or two. Alright, now if you can see, my hand is my index finger is outside the trigger guard. Okay, and in the gun community, you may hear people say index. Keep your finger index. That simply means off the trigger and as high as you can on the slide. Okay, this is your slide. Alright, now that we have the magazine seated, alright, and we have it's ready to go, we now have to rack the slide or chamber around. Alright, the way I choose this, the way I actually demonstrate this with my students, I actually have them bring the gun into their working space here, which is closer, maybe center mass or so. Alright, and we're going to grab with our support hand here. You see these protrusions here at the top or the back side of your slide. You're going to grab here, and it's a push and a pull. Okay, a push, pull, and release. That's all we're doing. Your slide wants to go forward. However, you have a slide lock here. Let me show you what that looks like. You have a slide lock here that locks that slide back. Okay, here's going to be your magazine release. All right, so for instructional purposes, we want to make sure that we push, pull, and release. We don't have to guide it back forward. We want to push, pull, and simply release it. That's all we're doing. Alright, now we actually have a round chambered here and ready to go. We're ready to rock now. Okay, so that's how you actually load your gun. Now we have to figure out how do we now clear this same example. We want to clear the gun and make sure that it's not loaded. Okay, so from here we're simply going to work backwards. Alright, what we're going to do first is we're going to release our magazine, and again, you have your magazine release here. Alright, we're going to release that magazine first. Alright, to ensure that there's no way that another round is going to go into the chamber of this gun. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to rack that slide to the back. Okay, we're going to do it as hard and as we possibly can. Alright, so what you notice, you may have heard a round fall to the floor. That's absolutely fine. That's what you want to hear. All right, we don't want to try to get Hollywood with it and try to catch rounds in the air and try to turn the gun over to catch rounds. Let it fall. All right, rack your slide, lock it back, and put your gun down. All right, from there you go ahead and find your round and you pick it up. and now you have a clear handgun. So now what you'll do from here is you'll make sure that you visually and physically inspect that there's no bullets in the chamber, and there's nothing in the magazine well. All right, and we'll put it down. Simply put. All right. So today, that's how we actually load our gun, and we clear it at the same time. All right. Again, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out to me. Send me a DM, a personal message. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks. Y'all have a good one.